Good morning, Twitch! A rarity, to say the least, but good morning! How are we all this wonderful morning? Dear God, what a rarity for me to be able to this early, huh? Jeez. 7 o'clock in the morning, sun just came up for me. Oh boy. It's a gorgeous day already, and I feel like it's only gonna get better. Hope y'all love my new stream starting screen for regular streams now. And check this out. This is my favorite part. We got a new live screen! Look at that! How cool is this? This is our new live screen, so when we do gaming and stuff now, this is what we'll be doing. We got the mug still here. Look how overflowing it is. Isn't that awesome? Anyway, I found this pixel art not too long ago, and I just fell in love with it. So I'm kind of showing it off today. I love this to bits. This is so cool. But yeah, be expecting me to use this in the near future for up-and-coming streams. And we got something else special. We didn't lose it, because it is a classic on this streaming channel. We still have the generic webcam, of course. Obviously, you can't get rid of our generic webcam for basic chatting streams. But we got a new gaming stream set up, and check this out. This is really cool. We got another version of the gaming setup. So this is more for true gaming, whereas the other one is more for viewing a big screen. God, I love it. Isn't it so cool? I think it's awesome. I think it's absolutely amazing. So be expecting this new background for any sort of gaming streams that we ever do in the near future, or any viewing memes or doing things like that. But look at this. We got all the way in the far corner over that way. We've got our recent followers tab. I think the star is subs. I think this up here is gifted subs, and I'm pretty sure this one, like right next to it, is domos. So yeah, we got all that. It's really cool. Not much else has really changed. We haven't changed anything else. It's all still like kind of the same, whatever. But if you all like this, we also have we also have this, and I'm very excited that we have this. We have our new "I'll be right back" screen. It's a lot better, in my opinion, than the neon screen we had. And then, of course, at the very end, we'll be showing off, obviously, the what's it called? The end screen. That's what I'm thinking of. We'll be putting that to the end. Now, I think I had a webcam border. I can't remember if I had a webcam border or not. I think I have a webcam border. But for now, we're going to stick with this screen because I kind of like it a bit more. I'm going to be right back because we got some important stuff to talk about this morning. I mean, seriously important stuff. So, this gives me ample opportunities to use this new screen. Alright, crew, so I'm back. Hello, I'm back. But oh my word, we've got so many important things to talk about today, and we're going to start with probably the most important thing. I'm going to turn off the gaming screen capture here for just a moment, because we need to focus on something very, very important. And I mean seriously important. I gotta fix this, just give me 1 second here. We'll leave game capture on for a moment. I gotta make sure this loads. I know the stream's gonna bug out because it's an early morning stream and I don't usually do early morning streams. So it's gonna bug out pretty bad. So hang on tight. Alright, we've got that going now, okay. Which means I can now put the properties in place. So, for those who don't know, and for those who do know, Cameron Murray, or Cameron Murray 17, or full Cameron Murray, however the hell you wanted to call his name, he's a critical part to me being on YouTube. In fact, if it wasn't for him, some of my videos wouldn't even exist in the first place. So now I'm bringing him into Twitch, and I brought him into Twitch about, I want to say like a month or so ago, and he's been a moderator on my channel for the last couple streams. He's shown up, but we've got something serious to talk about related to him. And that is, if I can pull it up here, where is it? This. Lord only knows, I hope this works. Okay. So, this here is his newest game. I say newest because I can't think of the other one that he's doing at the moment. Also, if you like the new BGM, for the love of God, let me know. I will turn it down a little bit more. We'll turn it down a couple decimals. But, this is critical. We gotta talk about his new game. I haven't had the luxury to sit down and play it recently. And even if I did get the chance, I don't have the chance now. But we need to talk about this game because there's something going on that's causing problems. And I mean serious, serious problems. Apparently, a friend of his is turned against him. And it is our responsibility as my fans to go and rescue this thing. I'm pointing in the wrong direction. We gotta go rescue this. Now, I've done videos on this before, but this time I want to actually bring a straight stream into this sucker, because the last time I did a video on it, it was a call to arms. I'm having to do that again, and I just wanted to rather do it live, because if I did it live, then my life would just be a little easier, plus I wouldn't have to edit it. But it's to the point now, people, where the popularity of this game has hit the floor hard. Like, it's a no bueno right now. Like, we have a very serious problem to discuss here, and that is hate speech. And the music does not fit what I'm talking about. Also, keep in mind, I haven't been to sleep yet so far, and I did just get off work around 1 o'clock. So, I'm doing this stream at about 7:19 my time, and when the video goes up, it'll be God knows when. But I haven't slept yet, so I'm running off of a caffeine high, and I realized that I needed to take care of this, so I'm going to. Cameron asked me to bring up this subject because someone by the name of Purell, I think it's Purell, it could be Propel or whatever, is causing problems for this game. He's got it to a rating point where sooner or later the game's going to get shut down. This is not a good thing, because if this game gets shut down, Cameron's money goes out the window. And he put a lot of money into this game. I should know, because I've been part of helping design this thing, and I put money into this too. Brings me to a very critical component that we need to talk about. Hate speech. And I've had a problem with hate speech before. Because it's hard to believe, but I was recently attacked with hate speech. I made a stream about it and made videos about it, so don't freak out. I've already taken care of it. I'm not worried, and I'm not going to panic. The last thing in life that I need to do is panic. Frankly, I don't care if you hate speech on me, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. I just realized I need to set this back to that. And cut screen capture on that. Because it's still trying to catch stuff. So, as I was saying, seriously guys, hate speech. I don't fully understand it. That doesn't mean I don't get it. It just means I don't understand it. I also forgot to add our newest feature to the stream. I forgot to do that when setting this up earlier. Jeez Louise, people! With hate, I'm actually going to do some setup while I'm here, so don't mind me. I'm going to do some setup while I'm talking about this, but like, my god, people. If you are creating like hate speech to somebody for any reason whatsoever, stop. Seriously, like it's not a good thing. Hang on, I'm doing this to all of them, so shush. You're gonna see me jumping through all the different things, and you'll hear my clicky, clicky, clicky. Okay, this one I actually need more centralized. There we go. There we go. Alright, there's that a little more centralized. Alright. I'm trying not to screw up my already gorgeous backgrounds, which, by the way, I don't know who made these. I think they're just a default Twitch emblem thing. God, I love them. One more. You get to see the ending screen. Wow, what a bonus. It's a bonus for you guys. There's actually a reason I've switched up this. So, it's kind of a surprise, and I won't spoil too much of it, but I'm planning on getting a very special imported gift. And the backgrounds and stuff are a hint of where it's coming from. Do I have my... Yes, I do. Why is this over here? Oh, it's because it's absolutely knackered. So as those who don't know, a fan sent me this, or sent me where to get it, and now the poor thing is broken to bits. I might have to get a new one. Oops. I might replace it with a different, either one that's similar to it. Actually, what I could do is get rid of the base, right? And keep this part, because this part comes off. And just go get a different base. I'm also thinking about getting an on-air sign at some point. That's gonna shit over there. Because that's where it usually sits. But God, guys, seriously. I know I'm speaking to a wall here when it comes to talking about hate speech and hate crime and all this other crazy jargon crap, and what am I even talking about? Because I'm talking literally into a brick wall here sometimes. Because there are people who come into streams. You don't deserve that. Sorry. Oh shoot, Violet has points. Let's just give her all of the points. I don't think she knows she has the points. We'll just give Boopster an extra couple thousand there. And I think that's everyone who should have mega numbers of points. I don't have mega numbers of points because I don't use it. But we gotta talk about hate speech. I'm gonna actually take my headphones off so I can hear my jam for a moment. Stop. Just stop. When it comes to... I'm sorry. When it comes to people, it's not fair to them. It's really not. And when someone takes the creation, It's just really quiet, Jim. It's just when people get to a point where they think they're better than somebody, they're gonna hate on that fact. And I think Purell, I think it's Purell 511. I think the reason he's more mad than anything else is because I haven't made a video on his game yet. I haven't had the chance to actually sit down and go try his game before I record it. Because whenever I play a game, before I ever record the game, I will play it first. And then I'll actually record it. God, my stream is wanting to die right now. It is having issues out the wazoo. And I don't think anyone's going to show up to this morning stream because they don't expect me to be alive right now. No one expects me to be alive right now. No one expects me to be alive right now either. And usually, I'm pretty sure everyone was probably expecting me to finish the story. Well, I haven't really gotten the last bit of the story written, and I have to refresh myself by listening to the original tracks all over again. This brings me to a point. Give me a second. This brings me to a point where I'm at a crossroads. I'm at a very large crossroads, and I don't know how to fix it. And the only way I knew how to fix it has worked in the past, but I'm going to try a different approach. Guys, you do play Roblox, and I know it's a very, 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 very tiny community of people that play Roblox. I play it just because it's the games where Cameron plays, and occasionally I'll get bored, and I'll meander back over to Roblox and play something like that. Y'all have to go help this man, because if y'all don't, I'm in the gutter, and so is he. And this is more about him than it is me, and I want to make that very clear, because he reached out to me. What was it? A year ago? I want to say a year ago. He reached out to me about a year ago, and he said that he was very excited that I even had the audacity to, stream. I just realized, can I check something? Is there a way to... stream labels? Copy. Paste. Well, that didn't work. Look. Hang on, I gotta think of what I wanted to say. This is what I get for streaming and not sleeping. This is what's gonna happen with the subathon, is I'm gonna try and go to sleep, and the stream's gonna run, and I'm gonna wake up, and it's gonna be like a 72-hour stream again. Okay. Gosh, should I do a subathon? Can I even get subs? I don't think I'm affiliate, which means I can't get subs. I'm on the road to affiliate, though. I'm on the road to affiliate. I had notes about this. I just realized I have notes about this. I'm gonna go get my notes. Hold on. I'll go get my notes. Alright, I'm back. Is my BGM off? Oh, no, there it is. Alright, I put my headphones back on. Right, so I went and took a look at my notes just so I don't screw this up. Whew, first of all, who's in the stream? Only Streamlabs. That hurts. That hurts a little bit. Look. I'm looking at my notes on my phone. Here's my phone, I'm looking at my notes. Wrong. I closed out of my notes for some reason. What the f... Doesn't matter. It's a 92-degree day today. Jeez, it's gonna be a hot day. And I have to do work. I have to do labor. Look. Cameron is an amazing person. He's always been an amazing person. The problem is when people start aggressing on him like this, it doesn't help me because he rushes to me for help. I'm pretty certain that he's only got like maybe a handful of overseas friends from where he lives, and when he rushes to me, it's first of all, it's incredible that his first response is to go to the only person he can think of, and the first person he thinks of is me. Second of all, it terrifies me when he sends stuff out on his YouTube channel, which you should all go check out, that his game's gonna die, or his game's gonna get shut down, or worse. My foot is itching like crazy. I almost stabbed myself. It's insane. It's just insane. It's crazy. It's nuts. It's not fair to him. And I hope he doesn't worry that he's putting an extra strain on me, because he's really not. Because when he calls for my help, I get to it when I can. And I don't want people to think, oh, I'm blowing him off, or I'm going to keep blowing people off when they ask me to do stuff. No. It's... Being a small-time YouTuber is hard because the entire thing is an uphill fight. Being a starting-out streamer is an uphill fight in itself. So me doing both of those at the same time is a little tricky. Keep in mind, I've been fighting the YouTube hill longer than I've been fighting the Twitch hill. This brings me to my other critical point. Inclines when it comes to popularity. People. Popularity is zero. Nothing. It means absolutely nothing in the real world. Like, I could have the most popular item in the world online, but if I told someone in the real world about it and they had no idea what I was talking about, that shows how little there's actual value in what I have. I could own, and this is a bad example, but I could own the most limited edition NFT possible, right? I could own the most insignificant, non-fungible token in existence. And if I told someone about it in the real world, it would mean literally nothing more than the dirt under their shoe. Which in itself means something because they were walking through mud with brand new shoes on, you absolute moron. But in the world of gaming communities, if your game doesn't hit the market that you're trying to go for, and it flops, it's a problem. Because it means you can't bounce back from it. You could bounce back from it in theory. I mean, look at EA. They... look at all of EA. It's been going down here forever, and then they released Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. It's just... we have this issue where we have this game that someone's created out of passion, put their own time and effort into, and probably their own money into. There it is. I was like, where did my BGM go? I lost my marbles for half a second. My BGM disappeared. The problem is, in video game culture, that hill is constant. It is a constant uphill fight for a game. It's always a constant uphill fight for a streamer. That is until you catch that niche market that you're trying to get into, or you create your own niche market. You sort of level out. You don't stop climbing, you level out. Now there are some people they'll hit a point where they've stopped growing. And they have two choices. They can either change their path to try and continue the growth, or stick where they're comfortable. Now, it's a 50-50 shot either way, because what could end up happening is you could stick with what you're going with, and eventually you'll see an incline again, and people will start to pick up what you're doing. Or, there's another possibility that you'll have a fallout, and people will drop out, they'll stop watching you, they'll stop caring, your fad will go away. With small-time YouTubers and small-time streamers, I've seen that incline go from being, you've got this, to immediately switching without any leveling out. I've seen that happen with myself and others. I'm still working to this day on a giant project that, if it goes extremely well, will probably be the boost that I need to increase my popularity so I can attract more people, so I can do the very thing I've wanted to do, which is support small-time game developers and streamers and content creators. It's what I've wanted to do. Numbers don't matter to me. The amount of little digits that are in this little cup over here mean practically nothing to me. But it is cool to watch them bounce around. What does matter to me is that when people come into these streams and they do follow me, and they enjoy the fact that they followed me because I'm small. I'm not going to stay small forever, I hope. If I do stay small forever, that's fine. I can live with it. What I'm not going to be able to live with is the fact that eventually, one day, I'll suffer one of two fates. I'll either suffer from burnout, which I have already suffered through 3 different times in my life, or I'll just stop wanting to do it. A great example is my love for the railroads. I still love the railroads. I've loved them ever since I was a kid, but I always bring up, did they just say Doki Doki in my BGM? Whatever. I've always loved the railroads, but every now and then, just like with, say, Hamilton in the background over here, or even Star Wars recently, something I cling on to for a while, and I cling on to it, and cling on to it, and cling on to it, until I get bored with it, and I go back to railroading. I'm still heavily focusing on railroading, even now. It's in my YouTube name, it's in my Twitch name. Railroading will forever be a part of what I do. It's trying to do stuff with the railroad again. That's the trick. But going back to what I was saying about Cameron, he's found his market. He has found where he wants to be as a game developer, and he has been creating beautiful content. He created a beautiful Knight Rider game, and now he created a beautiful Star Trek game. And someone's trying to break it. Someone tried to break the Knight Rider game, and I went in and swooped in and saved it. Now the Star Trek game is under fire. And this puts me at the crossroads. Well, I have to pick a side. And I'm picking the side of the content creator in this one, because he's my friend. I've supported him long enough, I should continue to do that. Anyone who you see who is struggling in life, you need to support. It doesn't matter what's going on, you gotta sometimes put them on your shoulders and carry them for a few miles. Or a few 100 miles. The point is, I gotta take these off. I've been wearing these, trying to think of a way to do this stream for like 2 hours. It's just, and they hurt my head right now. I need to get better headphones, because these are not the most comfortable thing in the world. They're good, but when you're trying to do a long stream, they're not the greatest. So I'm gonna leave them off for now. I just can't understand why people are being so abusive towards Cameron via hate speech. It's genuine hate speech. If you go and watch some of his videos, you'll see what they're saying about him. It's not fair. That being said, there are times where an opinion needs to be heard. Doesn't mean it gives you the right to harass the person. It just means that if that person is doing something that is clearly wrong, something should be said about it. Like, for example, if someone goes through a stop sign and there's clearly someone going through the intersection and they have to stop really quick for that person who just blew through, that's a problem, because it's breaking the law. Or say someone tries to walk out of the store with an item they didn't pay for and then claims that they paid for it. that's something that needs to be stopped because it's almost shoplifting, which is again breaking the law. And then there are times where people do something that does not warrant a heavy reaction. Something should be said about it, but there should be no heavy reaction. For example, excuse me, that was very rude. There has been recently, from what I've heard from a very credible source of information, that the action of crouching repeatedly in FPS games, someone claimed it was harassment of a very specific kind. I want to address this, and this is kind of roundabout what I'm talking about. Apparently, this person online, don't know who it was, but I'm still going to address it because I heard about it, claimed that the action of teabagging, if you don't know what that is, I'll briefly explain it, is harassment or assault. I think it was assault more than it was harassment. Teabagging, for those who don't know, and probably most of my audience knows as I'm not the kind of toxic person to ever do it, is where if you kill someone in an FPS, which is a first-person shooter, or even third-person shooters, because I've seen this done in other games that are third-person shooters. If you crouch repeatedly on top of the dead body, that is considered a teabag. It is a taunt that was created way back in the day on, I think it was Xbox that first created it. And they didn't create it on purpose, it just exists because someone invented it. It was considered a toxic gamer trait. And I've never done it as far as my knowledge shows, but apparently this person believed that because it happened to them, it was the equivalent to something assault. I don't know if I can say that on Twitch, so I'm not going to try to. Yes, the action can be vulgar, but getting bent out of shape because it happens to you in a video game is the reason it's invented. Going out of your way to try and get a game canceled because it has a crouching mechanic in it, and it is used for that when other people use it to duck and cover, that's going over the line. Which brings me to what I'm talking about. This person, I believe, is trying to destroy the credibility of this game so hard because of the developer. The game has a 61% approval rating. 61% approval rating across the platform. What that means is that for Roblox, as far as I've seen, each game is rated by how positively or negatively the entirety of the platform views the game. This means that if we take 61 out of 100, if I do this right, that'd be 39% of the people who have played that game. Yeah, 39% of the people that played that game have either downvoted it because they didn't enjoy it, or they've downvoted it because other people are doing it. Another great example of jumping on a bandwagon to destroy something just because it's funny is when Kellogg in South Korea did the chocolate versus green onion campaign years ago. Thank you, Matt Pat, for telling me about this, because it's a great point for what I'm talking about. In that scenario, very briefly discussing it, there was a campaign to pick the new flavor of cereal in South Korea, and people were voting the more disgusting flavor because it was hilarious to watch the numbers go through the roof. In the end, it caused a backlash because the cereal company just went with the other flavor anyway and claimed that this flavor was a sham. It didn't end very well. I believe they released the flavor and everyone agreed it was a dumb idea. But the people who are playing Cameron's game are purposely joining the game because there's a requirement on the website where you have to at least join the game once to rate it. You have to at least press the play button, have the server fully load up, and then you can log out and vote on the game. So people have been doing that. They've been literally logging in just to downvote the game. They don't play it, they don't mess with it, they just log in because, oh, this person told me to log in and then downvote the game, so I'm going to. I'm half tempted to get a bunch of people together, log into the game, and then upvote it just to fix the problem. But that just brings a whole nother thing of inflating numbers. If I wanted to, I could inspect my computer screen this very second on my Twitch page, make it look like I have millions of followers. Literal millions of followers. I can make it look that way. It's not true, but I can do it. I can do the same thing with YouTube. I can do the same thing with practically any website. I can go in and make it look like, to the computer code, that I have this many, followers, subscribers, digits, whatever. However, the moment I refresh that page, it goes back to normal because it's reading off of a universal page. But let's say if I did that, and I could do it to other people, and it stayed. For example, let's say I didn't like a particular streamer, right? And I wanted to destroy their entirety of existence. And I had the ability to save the progress of the inspectability on the website. I could go, inspect their website, and set their follower number to 0, because there's no such thing as negative numbers when it comes to follower count. Set it to 0. Nothing. That would break the algorithm. Because how the algorithm works is that smaller creators get their own page, and the bigger creators get the front page or trending or whatever it's called. If I took a trending streamer mid-stream and wiped all of his followers out, only to the algorithm, didn't lose the followers, just the algorithm thinks he lost them, it would cripple him. It would cripple him because if the algorithm figured it out, he would lose his partnership and he'd lose his, what was it? Verification. I just said it to myself. Affiliate. He'd lose his affiliate. He'd still have the necessary streamer hours for it, because he had streamed for that whole time, and he'd still have the view count for it. Just would no longer have the follower count. That's what's going on right now with these people downvoting Cameron's game. They are purposely going in and having the ability to change and alter the numbers so that it looks like it's failing when the game really isn't. I can't stress this enough. You gotta be careful with the people that you consider to be good people, because they'll act like they're good people, they'll act like they're nice, they'll act like they're kind and polite and everything. But what will inevitably happen is that someone will come along and try and break what you're trying to do. I've had this a lot happen with me in certain scenarios where I will go out with a bunch of friends and one of them just doesn't want to do what the others are doing, or doesn't want to participate in what the others are doing. And it's not that I get pissed with them about it. It's that we, as the collective, took time out of our day to try and get you to have fun as a person. So let's just throw a scenario together. I'm not going to use a real life scenario, because if I do it in the person, it's not a good idea. Let's say we all pitch in to go to the carnival. The fair just ended for me, so we'll use the fair. Because none of my friends went to the fair, as far as I know. We're all planning on going to the fair. We all show up to the fair, we're all having fun on the rides, we're all having an adventure, we're having a good time. And then it's snack time. There are 3 booths at the fair. Not literally, it's just an example. There are 3 booths at the fair. The first booth is a burger booth. Very generic burgers, fries, drinks, you name it, very basic. The second booth we've never seen before. It's a brand new booth. I'm just gonna say for the sake of I love it, sushi. It's a new sushi joint, right? And the third booth is the crowd favorite. It's always been there every year, and everyone loves it. It's always been there, and I'm going with my personal favorite, which is On the Hook Fish and Chips. S-tier food truck, even though it has like 1 menu item, it's awesome. The guy, we're just going to come up with a name here, Phil. Our friend Phil wants to go to the fish shop. Jared wants to go to the fish shop. I would like to go to the sushi shop. My other friend would like to go to the sushi shop. So we collectively agreed that both of us, the group, will split into 2 groups. They'll go get what they want to eat. We'll go get what we want to eat. But the 5th person can't afford food. So we say, okay, we're going to these 2 buildings. We're going to this truck and we're going to this truck. You can pick between these 2 trucks food that you want to go get, right? He picks the burger truck. Neither of us are going to the burger truck. We can't afford the burger truck. We could afford the sushi truck, and we can afford fish and chips. That's all we can afford. This person demands to get burgers because he won't eat the other 2. So we fight and we argue, and finally we convince him to come and get food with us. He asks the people in the trucks if they serve burgers. And this is what's going on in Cameron's game. Purell wanted something to happen. He was doing something. And I guess Cameron either didn't want it to happen or wasn't ready for it yet or something. I don't know the full details. But it's caused Purell to get pissed off. And if Purell sees this, because I know he watches my streams and I know he watches my videos, dude, if it didn't happen, it didn't happen. It's not the end of the world. We'll fix it over time. Going off like this with hate speech and just throwing a tantrum doesn't fix the issues. And that's the problem with hiding behind the camera. I could very easily do this. I could have started YouTube like this 6 years ago. I could have started Twitch streaming the exact same way. I could have had an entire career on the internet being faceless. Not just being faceless on stream, but being faceless in public, being faceless when I go to work, whatever. I could have chosen this path. And I could have stuck with it, and tried to stick with it, mind you, for 6, almost 7 years now. However, I knew one thing would happen, and that's the constant requests for a face reveal. Because that's what faceless YouTubers get all the time. I know this because my sister from another Mr. Violet is a faceless streamer. Now, I don't know if she gets the same problems that I've seen VTubers get or other faceless streamers get, but as far as I know, she has. She'll correct me if I'm wrong. And she told me that one day I chose this. I was half tempted to do this. I was tempted to delete every single video off of the face of the earth that I ever created that had my face in it. But I already had, at the time of me making that decision, I think it was 120 subscribers. and maybe like 10 followers on Twitch. If I made that choice, right then and there, I would have ruined my own career. And if I started from the beginning, I'd get berated and berated and berated until one day I bring my camera up and I'm like, this is what I look like. The moment I would turn my webcam on would be when everyone would catch flack with me. I thought you would look like this. You don't look like this. It's the same concept with a video game that you've never played before. You look at the title, and you think, this video game is going to have all of this stuff in it because that's what the subscription says. And you open it up, you play it, and it's not that game. It's not the game you thought it was going to be. A while back, I came back to Knight Rider. Cameron's game of Knight Rider. I came back to it. By the way, this BGM is going to loop in about at an hour and 10 minutes. So, because it's Japanese BGM, it's going to loop because it's a little shorter. It got to the point where Purell started asking me to do a video on his Knight Rider game. And I said, okay, I'm more than willing to do it. So I did. I created that video. The moment I created that video, I got flack because of the way I judged the video. I judged that video not as a video game, but as a version of Cameron's game. Because Cameron's game was the first Knight Rider game I ever played. So the only thing I had to base it off of when I played Purell's game was Cameron's game. So when he and some of his fans thought I was calling his game crap and that I hated his game, it wasn't true. It was inaccurate. Yes, I did not enjoy the game, but I didn't hate it. And I really didn't dislike it. I had fun recording the video. I had fun testing the very few limits the game had. But that was all it was to me, was because someone requested it, I was making it. And then I realized something about making that video. I was begged and pleaded with to create that video. And when I buckled down and actually made that video, I wasn't making that video for myself. I was making it for the person who wanted it. Cameron doesn't do that with his games. When he makes the game, he's making it for everybody. He made it for everybody. And he'll make them for everybody. So if one person hates the game, not his fault. He did everything he could to make the game amazing. But if that one person becomes 2, and that 2 becomes a 4, and that 4 becomes an 8 or a 9, because of one person saying, oh, I didn't like it, and then they get on, and they go in with that mindset of that if this person didn't like it, I'm not going to like it, it starts a trend of defeat and defeat and defeat and battering and battering and battering and battering. You can't do that to people who are less fortunate comes to the train of popularity. I've seen small streamers. I only have followed a handful of small streamers. There's a few big streamers I follow. Don't get me wrong, I follow some pretty big streamers. But I find that it's more entertaining to follow the smaller streamers, which is why I follow the smaller game developers. As far as I know, one really small game developer created Vader's Immortal. S-tier game. I love it. I've loved it. I play it whenever I get the chance, and whenever I just have a need to hack and slash, I play it. But Cameron's not a multi-million-dollar developer. we shouldn't treat him the same way. We should treat him with the same respect as a multi-million-dollar developer that makes good games. I emphasize makes good games because there's some multi-million-dollar game developers out there who make some bad decisions. Blizzard, I'm looking at you. Activision, I'm looking at you. It's just... Here's my sponsor. It's so dumb. It's so incredibly stupid that there are people who are willing to abuse and beat on small developers and small communities. Because it's easy. If you beat on a small community enough, they'll disappear. I haven't seen my friend Cassio Melody in a long time, and he had a pretty decent community size. I don't know where that man went, but Cassio, if you're out there, homie, come back here. I miss you, man. I do. I should message him. I'm worried about him. I haven't heard from him in a while. All this to say, you get the chance to find a small developer, whether it be Cameron Murray or otherwise, for the love of God, treat them with respect. Give their game a chance. Play it. I say you cannot fully judge a video game within the first 2 minutes of you playing the game. You can't. You cannot judge a game within 2 minutes of playing it. Because it takes about 2 minutes to load into a campaign for the game. For me, it does. So if you can sit and play a game for at least 15 minutes from when you hit the play button, when the game loads up, to when... So, you know how some games have, difficulty settings and you adjust everything? The moment you hit play and start a new game, that is the moment where your 15-minute timer starts to judge the game. When that 15 minutes is up, you have two choices you can make. You can either say that you like the game, or you can say you don't like it and you don't want to play it again. That's fine. If it takes you 15 minutes to make that decision, great. If it takes you more than that to make the decision, continue playing until you decide you either like it or you don't. But here's a little fun fact for you. If you can't make the choice within 15 minutes if you like a game or you hate the game, but you decide to keep playing the game to find out if you don't like it, if it takes you any more than 5 more minutes after that, so 20 minutes tops to half an hour, once you hit that half an hour mark, you like the game. Now, of course, if you continue to play it after that half an hour mark and then you later stop liking the game, it's because you've taken that point where you've enjoyed the game and now you're continuing to play it to either because you are liking it and you're going to drag yourself to where you don't like it, or you're playing it just to give you that reason to not like it. A great example for me was Fortnite. Okay? I took that rule and I went into Fortnite with the mentality that I was going to hate the game. Okay? I still to this day hate Fortnite. I hate it because it has ruined some of my all-time favorite characters and people. I say that because they introduced them as season specialties and ruined the characters altogether. Anakin Skywalker being one of them. When I first played Fortnite, I went into it with the 15-minute rule. I logged in, and the moment I got into a lobby was when I started my timer. It took me about 5 minutes from logging into the lobby to joining the game to get shot. To get shot down specifically. And I could not play the game beyond that point. When I had died, there was no reset at the time. So, I had two choices. I could either go back to the menu, go back into another lobby and join another game, or wait it out. I chose to leave that game, go back into another lobby, wait for the game to load into the lobby, deploy, and start fighting again. By the time I reached the second load into the battle bus, her deployment, that 15-minute timer went off. I spent more time in a loading screen and on the battle bus and being dead than I did playing the game. And I understand now there's a couple things put in place to make it look a little bit better so you can join the game again. But when that 15-minute timer went off, I started playing a better game. I switched from playing Fortnite to playing Minecraft just like that. I Thanos snapped Fortnite out of my gameplay. My sister, who owned the Xbox Series S, Xbox One S, X, NYPD, something. She owned that Xbox at the time. She couldn't understand why I didn't like Fortnite. How could you not like Fortnite? And I explained to her that I spent more than 15 minutes either dead or loading. Well, that's because you're not very good at it. I said, okay. So I went back and tried again, with the 15-minute rule still in place. I said, if it isn't good by 15 minutes, I'm not going to play it. Okay, that's good. So I logged into a server, and this time I decided to join some randos, just to see if it would make the game better.